Now, another area of failure is our policy of endless war and endless defense spending. For the last 70 years, our government has set us on a failed path of one endless conflict after another, ongoing death and injury to our troops, and has sunk our economy deeper and deeper into debt. As shown in this graph, defense spending is almost $800 billion, and we would have to add up the spending of the next 10 countries with the highest defense budgets to finally exceed our spending. Take a look. I mean, we'd have to add up China, Russia, UK, Germany, India, Japan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Australia, and France, all to finally reach our spending. This is a crazy amount for a country that hasn't fought a war on its own soil for over 100 years. We have troops all over the world for reasons unbeknown to Americans or what benefit they offer Americans, other than we are bankrupting our country to pay for it. Worse than the debt, though, it has cost hundreds of thousands of Americans their lives or inflicted life-changing injuries upon them. If you take a look at this slide, you can see a sampling of the several failed interventions and wars, or undeclared wars, as we only have undeclared wars now that violate our Constitution. These are only the ones that I can name off the top of my head. Who knows how many more there really are? I've struggled to name any benefit that came to Americans for sacrificing their lives and their money for these fruitless efforts. But in every case, our government and the media came on every day to tell you our freedom was at stake, our security was at risk, that if we fail to act, the end of our world as we know it will occur. But in spite of all this talk and how little we accomplished in these efforts, our world didn't end. What ended was the lives of several of our best and brightest sons and daughters that volunteered to defend our country, not somebody else's. Men and women that vowed to protect our Constitution from both foreign and domestic enemies, not to protect the borders of other countries when we won't even protect our own borders, or to protect the foreign business interests of those connected to our government. Yet, not even a year after the last wars ended, the drums of war are beating again for those that are naive enough to listen to them. But I want to draw your attention to one important thing regarding all these wars. We are always told that fighting these wars is a patriotic thing to do, that we are defending freedom, that these causes are so critical to our future that you should send your sons and daughters off to die in these foreign lands. But it's odd that none of the people that believe so fervently in these wars are willing to go themselves or to send their children off to die in them. The people that speak and write so eloquently about the necessity of war, are they going to send their children to the front line? I don't think so. Because like so many other policies, going off to war, dying, getting maimed, that's for us regular folk. When the people that speak so strongly about the importance of these endless conflicts start participating themselves, or have their loved ones participate and share in the misery and loss that so many Americans have had to live with due to these endless wars, then I'll reconsider the importance of these conflicts. Until that time, this same old story, it just isn't very convincing to me. I'm not falling for the propaganda anymore, neither should you. Plus, our ability to win one of these wars, let alone win in a convincing fashion, it's suspect at best. But let's get one thing straight. All these military failures aren't due to our troops. I served our country. I know firsthand that the cause isn't the skill or bravery of our troops. The reason for these defeats, as well as for all the other failures in our country, poor leadership.